And
they look
it's
great.
great because they just trick everyone to thinking they're dress shoes. But
Yeah,
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 sneakers.
I know, which is so awesome. Like you could tell, you just put a blazer on and then you're ready to go.
And I have done.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're good.
All set?
And we're good.
Well, Yasmine, thanks again for taking the time to sit down.
Thank
Really
you.
excited to talk with you
Yeah,
about
very
your work
nice to
on
meet
the
ya.
series.
Thanks.
One of the questions I wanted to just start with is your character has been involved from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about your character's development, maybe over the first few seasons?
Yeah, so when you first meet her, I play Ramah, and Ramah is coming in and she has a job to do and she's doing her job and she's doing it well. They come across a problem and I'm Thomas's sidekick. So when you first meet Ramah, you also meet Thomas, and it's the water to wine episode. And so obviously we know the story. We have to try and figure it out. We solved that issue. And I did not know that I would be continuing on the next seasons. And so it was a very fun surprise to know at the very end of that episode where Jesus, or Thomas is saying that Jesus invited both of us to go with him and to meet him in Samaria. So that was cool. And then you see us trotting along, joining the gang. I'm one of the bros. And yeah, you just see her going through her journey of how she fits in with this group, what she can contribute to this group, and also personally her wanting to just be a better person, a better student. So she's learning to read and she's learning to write, and she's only growing into that even more. And I feel like you see her blossom. So she starts to blossom as the seasons go on in regards to how she sees life. So she loves taking it by the horns. She really enjoys experiences, and I feel like she says yes instead of thinking about should she or shouldn't she do something. If she feels it in her gut, she goes for it.
Fantastic. So she's becoming more and more open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and leaning more into that. Yeah.
Well, how about going in then to season 4? Anything you can tell us about this particular season?
So in season 3, you see that she has gone back home because she's trying to convince her dad to have Thomas join their little family. And when she comes back in season 4, we figure out if that's worked or not and how that's going to be handled for the future episodes of season 4. So yeah, she's come back. She is back. Yeah. She's back with the gang.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe any details about relationship with Thomas? I know there's some interest there.
Yeah. Well, is there? I don't know. If you have answers, we're all trying to figure it out. We have no idea.
You're in the dark as well.
We are in the dark. I hope something happens, and I think we're just figuring it out, but we're still there. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like there were some surprises for you in your work on the show from early on. Any other surprises in your work on this series?
Oh, yeah. There's always, anytime when we're waiting to start a new season, we're just waiting for the scripts because we have no idea. I mean, we have these conversations in between, and we have ideas of what maybe the writers are thinking and where they're thinking of taking the characters and where they're planning on going, but not until we receive the scripts and actually see it, hard copy, and figure out what the plan is. That is when we know what's going on. So yeah, I feel like usually it's just a toss-up until we get those scripts right before we start the season.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Thinking about other acting you've done, how does your work on this show compare? How is it different?
Ooh, I don't think I have played a character like Ramah before, and especially during this time, a historical piece. So that's been fun. I've been enjoying it so much. I think that's the surprising thing for me was I had an assumption that if I'm going to be doing something historical, that just historically accurate for a woman or a female character, and getting to be someone who is independent, who is spunky, who has personality and it's accepted is, again, especially during this time, is really cool. So that's been a fun surprise that I didn't know that I'd get to do with this, that I am embracing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, women do play this prominent role in the series, perhaps in a surprising way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Has that been intentional? Can you speak more into that?
I sure hope so. I
Yeah.
really do think it was intentional. And you know, they found that important. The creators, the writers, Dallas, Tyler, and Ryan, they found it really important for women to have their voice and for them to be, each one of them are very independent. They each go through their own trials and tribulations. They're trying to figure out who they are. They mess up. I mean, it's all, I just feel like it's such an equal playing field, not just for them, but for the guys. Like it's all, we're all going through it together is what it feels like. Yeah.
Without those sort of distinctions of
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Of male, female. It's just very like, you're having a hard day. You're having a hard time. Let's figure it out. Doesn't matter who you are.
Welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Welcome to the club.
Exactly. You're human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe to wrap up, can you tell me a little bit about what's your relationship been with the response to the show? You know, what have you heard from others being in this work? How are folks receiving you on the show?
Yeah. I'm always just surprised that they like us. You know, I'm so happy that people are just like, you're great. The stuff that you're doing is amazing. Obviously it's such I'm so grateful, and it's such a great reassurance to just keep going and making sure that we're creating those stories and putting those stories out there in the most authentic way that we can. And yeah, it's really only just reassurance whenever people come up to us and they let us know how it's affecting them and that it is affecting them, which is really nice. So yeah, it's been such a cool thing, especially not just like on the streets when you're out and about, but getting to meet them here. So the opportunities that they get to come by, because they support the show, you know, and they've contributed a lot. So for them to be able, if they get the chance to come out here and if we get the chance to meet them, it's only enhanced the experience. Yeah.
It sounds like there's been a really generous response to your involvement.
Yeah. Yeah, which is really cool. It's nice to know that you matter.
Yeah, you're not just delivering a line in that sense.
Yeah.
But the work you're doing is having an impact on those who are watching.
Yeah, well, it's really cool too because there are so many of us, and I think that just lends itself to the opportunity for someone out there is going to be connected to at least one of the characters. There's just so many to choose from. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your work.
Thank you.
And for the ways that
Ditto.
You're living into this series and this role.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
It's really good to sit down with you. Yes.
I know. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Yeah.